people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Big up your damn selves in the building. Make sure you smash up the likes and subscribe every single damn time. Chelsea versus Preston preview. Short and sweet really, because it's the FA Cup third round and we should be blitzing through this. I've used that word a few times and it's come back to bite me, but we really should be coasting through this round. Now, I've watched us many a time on previous rounds where we've actually struggled. Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup, Blackburn in the Carabao Cup. We haven't been so comfortable. We haven't been so complete. So we need to try and lay down the letter of the law here and be emphatic. Try and put in a good performance. Try and actually play some great attacking football and be a bit more sounder at the back. Try and keep a clean sheet for Petrovic. So I'm expecting a performance here that it's not going to send a message against Preston, but at least it's going to say we're clearly trying to take this competition seriously, which is what Pochettino kind of alluded to in his press conference. He's only going to make one or two changes. We've got a whole host of injuries. Hi, Lord. If I speak on how many injuries we actually have at the moment, it's like the whole team's gone, decimated. We ain't really got many options to choose from. We've got a few young players that we can flip between, maybe a Broyo versus a Washington, depending on your fancy. But most of the players are flat out finished, or they're on knocks, they need resting, or they're just injured. So it's a struggle to pick a team. Preston are not high flying in the championship, so again, it's not like we're coming up against one of the top championship teams that are in the playoffs, that are pushing for automatic promotion. We're coming up against a team that is kind of in the lower middle part of the table in the championship. So we should be handling business. Now, Pochettino has spoken about how seriously he's taking this competition. We're only in 3 competitions this season. The Premier League is looking pretty peak in terms of where are we going to finish. We'll be lucky to be in European places at this current moment. Obviously, yes, the points is not too much of a gap to Europa League, but we have to actually put some sort of consistency together. So our best chance of Europa League is probably winning this competition. Carabao only gives you Conference League. We'll just bag that as a trophy if we can get it. But actual, proper, solid European football type qualification, it's this competition we need to win. So we need to take it so seriously. So I would put out a strong team anyway. Now, going into this, he's spoken about Madueke, his resurgence in terms of getting into the side, playing more matches, a maturity, which we've spoken about so many times on this channel, maturity in these young players, their ability to kind of snap out of that fuzz that they were in at their PSVs, at their Shakhtar Donetsk, at their wherever they were, where the pressure is less, where the expectation is less, where the microscope is not so big. Here at Chelsea, the demands are bigger. And it's not an agenda that Pochettino has on Madueke. It's not an agenda he has on any of the young players. He is a guy that was brought in for youth development, and he's been taking his time with Madueke, and now we're starting to see the rewards in terms of now the players are ready to get minutes in terms of what he's doing off the pitch and what he's doing on the training day in, day out. Now he's starting to show it on the pitch, and hopefully I'd expect that he'd start this game and he continues his form. I think it's massive that he does that because Sterling is back and he's waiting in the wings. Pardon the pun. The guy is literally waiting on the wings to get into this team again. Madueke is there as well, so there is competition. Palmer, of course, we know can play out there as well. Another player that was mentioned was Disasi. Now, I'm not a big fan of Disasi playing right back, but it looks like Pochettino, has encouraged it because of what he did at Monaco. In this game, I'd like Alfie Gilchrist to play at right back if possible. We've only got Gusto. We know if Gusto goes down injured, we're screwed. James is out for a while, so I think protecting Gusto is massive in this game. You don't have to play him. Now, before we get on to other team news, Maatsen, really late last night, was kind of put out there that he won't be starting. He's got a niggling injury. That wasn't mentioned in the presser, and it's not going to be on the graphics. We're going to have a little bit of an animation going on because to my knowledge and to everybody else's knowledge, the journalists, everyone, Maatsen would be able to start and would probably start this game, and hopefully we could have said he could start at left back, but it's not going to happen due to the late update. So looks like we're going to get Colwell at left back again. Looks like we're going to have to reshuffle a few things. Now, before we get to my team, the loan situation has been... Angelo's doing great, don't get me wrong. Cassidy's starting to get minutes at Leicester, but Fofana, Union Berlin, coming home, and then back out to Sevilla. Looks like Sevilla are going to take him off our hands. Andre Santos, we know his loan had to get cut short. Absolutely massive, in my opinion, that he plays this game. He could be away for 5-6 weeks after with Brazil for internationals. I would like him to stay because the minutes are clearly there. Okuchuku's injured. Lavia's got setbacks as well. Their updates are in the scroll bar, along with the recent, issues of Enzo. We don't have clarity on how many midfielders are even available at one time. It's kind of chopping and changing. This is a brilliant opportunity for Andre Santos, who, like I said, impressed in the preseason. And people are very quick to just say rub out that preseason and just don't even consider it, right? But I think for players like Andre Santos and players like Angelo and players like you can take it into consideration. I mean, they've continued in Angelo's case. His form at Strasbourg is what we saw in the Chelsea shirt in preseason. And Andre Santos, I have not dropped my ratings for him. I've not even questioned my ratings for him based on that preseason because of what's happened at Nottingham Forest. That happens when managers like Cooper don't prioritize you because you don't contractually, you're not obligated to play because you're not contractually owned by the club. That's going to happen. It's nothing to do on quality, in my opinion. Nothing to do with quality, nothing to do with mentality. I think it's just due to circumstance. And I think he even said it himself. So I'd love Santos to start this game. I think it'd be brilliant. And it would be providing an interesting option because the thing is with Santos that other midfielders in our team really don't have is this all-roundedness to them where he can be in the first phase, as we saw in preseason. He can get a goal, as we saw for the under-20s for Brazil. He can put in a tackle and get nitty-gritty a little bit. He can even potentially score a header. He can play a pass. I think he's got a very potential, apart from his height, the lack of height is something Pochettino is going to have to get over, but he's not the tallest. But apart from that, he's looking like he could have an all-round box-to-box kind of game to him. That would be nice to see because we don't have many midfielders that you can say can tick off all of those things on their list in terms of what they can bring to the team. So I'd like to see him. And we'll see if he plays. But I have him in my starting 11 for my lineup, not the predicted. No Chilwell, no Carney, no Okuchuku, no Lavia, no Nkuku from the start. That's confirmed as well. So don't get your hopes up on that one. And no Jackson because he's gone to AFCON as well. No Badia Shill. I mean, no Kukurea, no James. Nobody. There's just nobody here. There's nobody here. So, yeah, what can we do? But my team on screen now. Like I said, I've had to move Colwell to left back, regrettably, because Matson's not going to be available to start. So now we've got to make shuffles and make changes. Silva goes into centre back alongside Disasi, and right back is Alfie Gilchrist. And then in the midfield, Santos and Gallagher. Now, I don't mind if it's Santos and Caicedo. I don't mind if it's Santos and Enzo. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind any of those combinations. I think Santos is potentially able to play both roles in that pivot, which is going forward and contributing to potentially attacking actions and also be in the first phase, receiving the ball under the press, which I don't think Preston, or we'll see. But, I think he's comfortable doing either or until we see otherwise at the highest level. So I'm happy to partner him with anyone, but I think Santos, I would love him to start. And then in the 10, Palmer for me. Could be Gallagher, but, I prefer Palmer personally, especially because Preston should sit back and we should need a little bit more, engineering. I don't know what that word is, but you know what I'm talking about. Right wing, Madueke, left wing, Mudryk, and up front, Amando Broja. Washington, maybe off the bench. He hasn't really had any cameo minutes, so it's probably harsh to just throw him straight in there. This is also a massive opportunity for Broja because the Premier League will return. And am I confident with Broja at the moment? No. Has he shown like we can rely upon him since he's been back from injury? No. Is he hopefully incrementally going to improve? Yes, I would love that. But I'm also, as I said previously on other videos, not really trying to run the risk of having him as really dependent on him for the latter part of the season. I'd rather bring someone in as a striker. So if he bangs in a hat-trick this game, that could maybe change my mind. Probably won't, but, it would be a step in the right direction. So he has to start this game, and it is huge that he performs and bangs in a goal or two in this game because I think his position in the team, whether he stays or goes, depending on his own personality towards, the potential striker coming in, whether he wants to be third choice or wants to go and play first team football, his position is very insecure. Very insecure. Very, very insecure. So that's it. That's where we're at, people. That's the team. Predicted team is not too dissimilar, but it's hard to tell because he said he'll make one or two changes, but there are options for him to tinker and change things. Maybe he'll start Sterling. Maybe he'll put Gallagher in the 10. Maybe he'll go and start, Caicedo and Enzo, and he won't play Santos. Maybe he'll play Disasi at right back and he won't play Alfie. I have no idea. We're going to see. But that's the team. That's the team for me. it's just win the game. Win the game and win it well, but win the game. It's not a conversation. It's not a negotiation. It's nothing. Just win the game. It's the third round of the FA Cup. We need to progress to the fourth. We need to target winning this trophy. A domestic double would be insane from what's happened at the start of this season, but minimum one trophy out of the two. And, just keep going in this competition to give yourself the best chance. So my score prediction for this will probably be about 3-0 Chelsea. My team is out there, as you saw. And there really isn't much more to it, guys. Make sure you smash up the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Big up your damn selves as always. In a bit, people. Peace.